What's up, guys? Psycho Chef here. I'm out at the beehives, and today I'm going to go ahead and put on my second box onto the original Queen Right hive that I have. So this is just because I think that they're going to run out of room pretty quick. They've got a population now that they're starting to build wax a lot faster than they were before, which means that they're going to start being able to make more bees. The population is going to increase, and everything is just going to start going faster and faster and faster the more we get through summer. So I think it's probably safe to go ahead and put this box on here now. As you can see, I got my smoker lit, and we're just going to go ahead and dive right in. So stick with me, guys. All right, so I got the hive opened up here. I got some empty frames right here that I've taken out of their second story, their second box that they're going to be using. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some checkerboarding where I'm going to alternate full frames that are in here with empty frames that are in here. And then I'm going to put this one on top. And what that'll do is that will make sure that I've got a little bit of brood on the bottom box as well as the top box, which lets them know, hey, it's okay to come upstairs and start doing your thing. So let's see if I can do this one-handed. If it becomes too much of a chore, I'll just go ahead and stop the video and... Oops. So this is the outer frame here. There's not much going on this frame. There hasn't been. Got a little bit more capped over honey on this side, but not much. So since there's no brood or anything on this frame, I'm gonna go ahead and put it back. And then this is empty still. Doesn't look like they've started doing anything. Yeah, this is, oh, my popsicle stick fell off. Oh, that's okay, they'll live. All right, set that one aside. See what else we got going on in here. So this is another plastic foundation that I put in there, and I put this in yesterday, and you can see all the wax that they've drawn out on this. These cells aren't quite ready to go. They're not fully they're not the correct size for the queen to start laying in, but they're pretty close. So some of these ones on the top, it looks like they've already filled in with some nectar. Let's see what we got going on here. Yeah, so there's just some tiny amounts of nectar in here. And nothing on the backside. So we'll go ahead and leave this frame in here. I'm gonna go ahead and turn it around so they start building wax on the opposite side as well. And we'll go ahead and leave these two together. And then this one is pretty drawn out. All right, let's see what we got going on. All right, so this is really drawn out right here. It's almost completely done on this side. And this is pretty heavy, so I'm gonna go ahead and set it down real quick. All right, so doesn't look like there's any brood on this frame. I don't see any eggs. There is some drone comb over here. All this is drone comb, but I don't see any eggs on this frame. But because it is drawn out, and there's a little bit of brood. So we've got a little bit of brood on this frame, but it looks like they've been backfilling a lot of this with honey. So I'm gonna actually go ahead and put this down here in this box. And then I'll put an empty frame next to it. There we go. All right, so let's see what we've got going on this frame. Doesn't look like there's anything going on this frame. Now you can see they barely started pulling any wax off of this frame, so I'm going to leave this one in here. Just give them a little encouragement. Oops. That was a little excessive. The one thing about smokers is that depending on the wind, you can really overdo it or you can really not do it enough. Sometimes it's kind of hard to find that middle ground. All right, so let's see what we got going on. So this is just almost completely full of brood. So we'll definitely put this one upstairs, and we're gonna take all the bees with it, just because to be able to maintain the proper temperature for brood rearing, they're gonna need all these bees to vibrate and maintain an appropriate 90 some odd degrees. Oh, and even better, there's the queen. So I'm not 100% sure if I want to put her upstairs or if I want to keep her downstairs. I think I'm going to go ahead and put her upstairs. So let's go ahead and put this box in here, or this frame in this box. And then we'll throw another empty frame next to it. And actually, I don't think I'm gonna do that. I think I'm gonna do this instead. I'm gonna go ahead and take this frame that was right next to it. So look at that. Remember this was, I put this in yesterday. Actually, I put this one in a week ago. I put the other one in yesterday. And you can already see, I mean, this is 1 week's worth of work. Last time they had this much drawn out in probably maybe about 3 weeks when they were just getting started. So just to kind of give you guys an idea. And there's a lot of drone comb on this frame too. So I don't know. They were getting ready to start swarming out again. They're building all this drone comb. So hopefully adding this second story will be enough to keep them from swarming out, and it'll also give them enough space that they can actually start doing brood rearing in 2 chambers. And then put in another empty frame. All right, so now I've got my top box set up with the frames that I want to take. I'm gonna go ahead and checkerboard some of the stuff in the bottom box here, and then before I put this thing all back together, I'll show you what we got going on. All right, y'all, there we go. That's pretty much it. I did my checkerboarding a little bit on this frame. I've got 2 full frames put together just because the queen was on one of these frames. And then I got an empty frame and then another drawn out frame. So this will hopefully entice them to start coming up from the bottom, and they'll start making wax in all these frames. And then the queen will have a lot more space to lay. And then eventually, maybe this year, maybe not, but I'll put a super on here and we'll see what happens with that. I'm not shooting for honey this year. This probably isn't going to be a honey year for me, but you never know. I mean, maybe there's something out here that's growing that I don't know about that'll bloom out in late summer or fall, and we'll get a fall nectar flow going. So who knows? But we'll see what happens with that when the time comes. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and throw this lid back on here, and just kind of an FYI, I'm going to go ahead and keep feeding sugar water to these guys for the rest of the season, just because I'm paranoid and I want to make sure that they've got plenty of carbohydrates. They can get all their pollen and everything from supplemental feeding, which I'm going to start doing here in probably a couple of weeks once all this stuff dies off. But I want to give them sugar water because I want to make sure that they have enough food and enough sugar water to be able to build wax to be able to increase their population. So that's my thing. A lot of people say that once your nectar flow starts, don't do sugar water anymore, but that's because they're actually going for honey, and this isn't going to be a honey extraction for me. So this isn't going to be my year for honey, but if it is, hey, power to you. So that's it for now. I'm going to go ahead and close this up, and we'll catch you guys next week. Take care, y'all.